Hello and welcome back to Aldershot for our second attempt at getting this all-military first-round Challenge Cup fixture played. I'm Kath Brazier and today we've got for you the British Army up against the Royal Air Force after last week's fixtures were called off due to cold weather and unplayable pitches. So both teams were well prepped for that and they haven't trained this week. So let's look back at the chats we had with them before last week's postponement.
Your thoughts then, when the draw was made and you saw that the Army had been drawn at home against the Royal Air Force?
I thought I'd done it on purpose, to be honest. I think it's good to have an inter-service game in the Challenge Cup, obviously. Big rivals, and I think we owe them one after inter-services last year. Oh, yeah, just gone, so it's going to be a tough game.
They are an opponent you know an awful lot about. Does that help going into this sort of fixture, or does it just raise things a little slightly?
Knowing individual characters and how they play and stuff, obviously, but for us, I think playing against them gives us a bit of an insight. We know what's coming, basically, and we've trained this week to oppose that, basically, so I look forward to it.
Coming off the back of inter-services, we've got a lot to rectify, and the squad are really keen on putting things right with that. So I think that makes it a little bit more special. It's difficult as well, coming off the back of a Christmas leave and stuff like that, so usually we struggle to get players, but we're not struggling this year, so hopefully we can put a great performance in on Saturday.
You know your opponents so well. What are you expecting from the Light Blues on this occasion?
Yeah, they've improved massively over the last 2 years whilst I've been involved in Army Rugby League, and it's great to see that there's not just one team dominating out of all three services. But yeah, we need to get back up there and put ourselves back in the mix of being winners, not only Challenge Cup, but we're aiming to the end product being in inter-services champions.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. Obviously, very honoured and grateful to be named captain. And to be captain in my first Challenge Cup game is a massive deal for me, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I appreciate Rents giving me that captaincy.
The Army have got fine pedigree in this tournament. They've reached the fourth round in the past. What would it mean to you and this group of players if you could put together a little cup run? It'd
be unbelievable, to be fair. We've got a brand new squad, basically. We've got loads of new lads in. If we can gel and at least get to round 2, 3, that would be a massive achievement for us.
a few lads away on detachments and operations at the minute, but we've still managed to pull a good squad together. We've got a few new lads as well that's joined up last year, and this is their first time with us now, so we're looking pretty strong.
The Army are just going to try and go over the top of us, and we need to front up, and that's something that I think we've done really well coming into services last year, so obviously coming out champions. We drew the Navy last year in round 1, which is pretty rare to get another service team, and then unbelievably we've now drawn the Army this year. It didn't quite go our way. We lost out to the Navy last year in a real tight game in round 1, so hopefully this one goes our way, but we're expecting a real tough game. And last year I think that real good tough game in round 1 in January against the Navy set us up for a good successful season, so hopefully the same again, but we'll get the win.
This Army team, they're very physical, they've got that little flair, little dance and stuff, and they can beat that one-on-one. So we're just going in as an open mind. We do our processes correct and we get our structure set away, and then hopefully that can get past the Army, but by no means feat, it's going to be a tough test.
Now the RAF are the current inter-services champions, and they beat the Army very convincingly in Wakefield last September. But in the all-military first-round Challenge Cup fixture 12 months ago, the RAF lost narrowly 22-28 to the Navy, but went on to beat them in the IS Champs. So it's fair to say this is anyone's game. Your commentary today is led by BFBS's John Knighton.
Kath, thanks very much indeed, and a very warm welcome back to the military stadium here in Aldershot. I say a warm welcome back because, of course, this time last week we were expecting to have the game going ahead. It was a beautiful day, the sun shining brightly, pretty warm actually, apart from one small factor, a frozen pitch, which meant obviously that we couldn't play the game in the end. It was called off literally as we were on air. I'm very pleased to tell you that the game is definitely going ahead this afternoon, although the fact is it's freezing cold here, so it's a very different occasion for us in the stand here and those who are gathered around the pitch. But for all of us, delighted that the game is going to be happening here. This first round fixture, of course, in the Challenge Cup, and it's all the more poignant because, of course, it is the Army versus the RAF. I'm delighted to have Nick Slaney joining me today. Nick, you'd have been out there playing, I'm absolutely sure, but for the slight issue of an injury.
Obviously I hopefully would have been in the squad for today, but I've been out for about 18 months with injury, so I'm hoping to get back this year at some point.
Well, we're obviously hoping to see you back in a light blue shirt before too long, but obviously both teams, they've had another week to cogitate on the fact that they've got this game, and we also have to say, of course, that since then the draw has been made for the third round of the Challenge Cup. Both these teams knew that they would be facing a team from not too far away from here, from Acton, West Warriors, who actually won their first round game last weekend. But now the possibility of a certain Leeds Rhinos.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, a hugely difficult game for us to play against another military team, because those games are always really intense. Obviously, if we were to get through today, West Warriors, obviously they had a big win last week, and obviously another little carrot for us to get Leeds Rhinos in round 3 if we hopefully get that far.
Well, could you imagine Leeds Rhinos on this pitch here at Aldershot? It will be a fascinating encounter. But talking to both coaches just before, obviously, today and also this morning, they're trying to put all of that out of everyone's minds. The players must be thinking about, in the back of their minds, about what is possible, but they've got to really focus obviously on this game, and they've also clearly got to focus on the second round, whoever comes through today.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, it's definitely a talking point in camp, obviously, the draw. But like you say, we've got to stay focused on today and you know, one step at a time. And obviously, big challenge today. It'll be quite an emotional game. Obviously, being against the Army here down in Aldershot. So get through that and we can look on to the next round.
Well, the two teams then coming out onto the pitch now, led by the officials today, Carl Hughes, Harry Forster and Jack Woolas, who were down here last week. They came all the way down from Yorkshire to referee the game. They're back again today. The two teams coming out onto the pitch, the Army, of course, in red, and the Royal Air Force in their blue. Let's run through the two teams, shall we, first of all, with the Army. And I think Lee Paul Rentals, he's been pretty fortunate, really. He's been able to keep roughly the same team, but obviously an introduction to their team today at number 9 for them in the hooker's role is Cam McDonald. He is making his debut today, one of, we look like 8 players who are making their debuts today for the Army. But Cam McDonald, that's a very interesting choice, obviously alongside his brother Mikey, who is captaining the Army team for the very first time. And so we've got that team, the Army there, as you can see. There's plenty of experience there in that side, despite the fact you've got some debutants.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, we spoke before we come on air about the Army and how they've got a lot of depth in their squad. I know they've got 8 debutants, but I'm sure they will still contribute. Obviously, the Army are always going to be dangerous with the amount of firepower they've got. They certainly are. Turning to the RAF, they're just being introduced at the moment to the VIPs who are here today to welcome them, the 2 chairs of the respective rugby leagues. And James Hutchinson, well, I think he's quite fortunate, because this time last week he was a bit worried that he wasn't going to have a team at all, because there's so many sort of calls on the players, isn't there, at this stage in the year for operational reasons and whatever. But you can see from that side, Harry Davis has come in at fullback wearing number 25. That, of course, I suppose is a big blow to lose Kieran, who would have been playing last week, but he can't make it this week. Yeah, sure. Obviously, Kieran is a big loss. He's a spark for us. He provides a lot. But Harry's also a really dangerous player. He's very quick, and unfortunately, he wasn't in the squad last week purely because of his tonsillitis he's just got over. So obviously, he's back fit again into the squad, and hopefully, he can make an impact. And of course, captained by Nathan Barker. Nath, who flew over from Akrotiri for last week, only to be denied by the weather. I'm sure he'll be delighted that he's still here and able to play as well. Who are going to be the key players, you think, for the 2 teams today? Obviously, we've had, not just Nath, there was 4 lads that flew back from Cyprus last night. But no, obviously, Nath is going to play a big part. He's playing in the halves today. I think, obviously, Mike McDonald's going to be quite impactful for the Army. Time now for the national anthem, which is being played now. So the 2 respective chairmen there leading, Rich Grover, Colonel Richard Grover, who's the chair of Army Rugby League, and Wing Commander Mike Birch, the chairman of Royal Air Force Rugby League. So this is fantastic, though. Inter-Services Rugby League to kick off the Challenge Cup for the first round. And, of course, the carrot is that match against Wests, isn't it? West Warriors this time next week. And as we said, Nick, everything really to play for today. Yeah, obviously, yeah, everything to play for. Everyone loves Challenge Cup time. But obviously, to draw another services team, it's going to bring another element of intensity to the game. We'll also be keeping half an ear on how the Royal Navy are doing this afternoon as well. They're playing up in Yorkshire at Murfield, their game in the first round. And as soon as we get any information about potential scores, we will keep you in touch with that as well. But it's the Army to kick off then, kicking from left to right as we look here in the military stadium here in Aldershot. They get themselves underway straight away, and a set of 6 tackles now coming in the direction of the Air Force. Important, these early moments, aren't they, Nick, to establish yourself in a game like this? Yeah, sure. Obviously, any game it's important, the first set, but it being another inter-services side we're playing, obviously you want to set the tone. You want to start big early, get some yards in. Good hits coming in immediately from the Army. Air Force bringing it clear, and then straight away that's Sam Roberts
loose forward today for the Air Force. Straight away looking for the position there. Nice work from Ewan Makinson. Plenty of talent in both of these teams, of course. So the sixth tackle, kick forward from Nath Barker, the captain. And it's collected well by Crabb. Straight away, another six.
Yeah. Obviously, high ball went up there. A little bit of miscommunication from the Army there. They hopefully, well, they're going to want to make sure they get a name on that next time.
And they have got the ball back. And this is a quick break for an injury early doors.
Yeah, Ewan Makinson there.
It was Ewan who kicked the ball forward, wasn't it, to put the ball through, and he took, I think, a bit of a knock just at the end of it there. So referee just holding play up just for a few moments. Delighted to have you joining us today here on our Forces News YouTube channel, wherever you are around the world, and of course on our Facebook page as well. If we can, we'll try and keep in touch with where you're watching today. I know there's a huge interest in this match from all over the Rugby League world today. Drive from Aaron Horton there. But brought back well by the Air Force. Good early touches from these players.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to control the ruck speed. Obviously, Army love a bit of momentum, and once they get their tails up there, they'll be right up for it. So we need to control it early doors. It
was a really good kick forward there from Mikey McDonald, making his debut today as the Army captain. Very proud day for the McDonald family, of course, with Cam playing his debut right at the centre of the scrum for the Army team. We're used to seeing him playing very much in a backs position for Army Rugby Union. Remember his hat-trick of tries that he scored at Twickenham a couple of years ago against the Navy. Ball dropped. Air Force will win that. We can expect early handling errors, I think, today, can't we, Nick, from both teams?
Yeah, it's a bit of a nip in the air, yeah. So hopefully these players warm up quicker than what we are.
He did well to keep it in. Lucavaro there on that far side. McDonald. Liam Lindsay, the fullback. The loose forward. McDonald goes wide. Brought into touch there. Great tough tackling from the Air Force.
Us wingers, we like those types of tackles. Straight into touch.
So Meli Tuisina wearing number 10, Jordan Swain wearing number 12, and Cam McDonald and Conor O'Brien are all debutants today for the Army team, as is virtually the entire bench as well, the interchangers. It'll be interesting to see how Lee Rental works that one out as the game goes on. But as we expected, it's a fairly tight start here. 4 minutes played, 0-0 between these two teams. Air Force bringing it forward again. Nice drive from Harrison Ray onto the 20-metre line. Nice work again from Ewan Makinson. Therefore showing some good early signs here. Might go for the drop goal, no, decides to run it through, does Barker, the captain, brought to ground. And that is going to be a nice opportunity here, isn't there, for the Air Force, Nick?
Yeah, hopefully we can get something from this position here. Obviously, it's always an edgy start whenever we play the Army, so hopefully we get a score in here and we can start to open up a bit.
It's Army ball of course. Pull it back again. Good tackling on that 10-metre line. Looked like it went forward, and the referee definitely spotted that. So this is a real chance then. A set of 6 tackles now for the Air Force. What can they do with this? And again, Harrison Ray. Roberts going in there too. Very close to the line now. Switching it wide, real opportunity then for the Air Force here to take an early lead here. And he's in the corner. It is definitely an early try then for the RAF. Luke Broadbent going in. Well, they've been the more threatening of these two teams to start with. Although the referee, I think, has brought it back, hasn't he? Well, it's a controversial decision, isn't it? Looked like Broadbent was in there, but the referee has pulled it back. Not quite sure what that was about. We're shaking our heads here in the commentary box. So the Army get away with it. Remains 0-0 here. McDonald. It's Cam McDonald brought to ground in the end. It takes 2 airmen to bring into the floor. The Air Force again having to defend as the Army bring it forward. It remains 0-0. We thought that Broadbent had gone over there, but it was brought back. Early moments for the Air Force. McDonald. That's the kick forward again, trying to make as much ground as possible. It's a brilliant kick. Does brilliantly well. And now the Air Force having to bring it out of their own half. But great tackling again. Wonderful play from Mikey McDonald.
Yeah, maybe we should have spread that a little bit better there.
But you can see how competitive this match is right from the word go here. I'm not quite sure we're in for a scoring fest today, Nick. That's George Mosey bringing it forward. Here's Roberts again. Good crowd here to watch this game today. Floodlights, of course, already on. And here's the Army fullback. It's James from 2 Yorks. Billy Cavaro. There's Cam McDonald. All the debutants in the Army seem to be settling in very well into their positions. It's Patero. Fakavita. Just working on my Fijian pronunciations here. Nice work from the Army. Bringing it through, bringing off a couple of tackles. That's great work there. Army coming through now with Adam Hooper. Most threatening the Army have been so far. McDonald spreads it wide. Up to the Fijian fullback. Almost there, and the ball goes down. It comes loose as the Air Force bring it away. With the number 25 is actually not noted on our list. I don't know, maybe you can help me on that one, Nick, who's wearing number 25 for the Air Force this afternoon.
Yeah, so Harry Davis, he's wearing number 25. For people that didn't know, we've retired the number 1 shirt due to obviously the sad loss of Scotty Stevenson a few years back. Last week when we were supposed to play the game, it was lovely to see his parents down here. They actually laid a bunch of flowers down on the far end of the stadium here at Aldershot. I don't think they've been able to get down today, but
No.
no.
I think we can just see that the flower is still there, that Donna laid last week. Donna and Steve were down here, and I know you'll be watching today, both of you. Scotty, very much in everyone's thoughts here today, Donna and Steve, and we wish you very well. Very sad that you couldn't be here today, but that flower, the rose that you laid, the red rose, is still there, and it marks a very important moment in the history of these two teams. They've never played here since the tragic night on the in 2019, when Scotty got injured, of course, and never recovered from that injury. But everyone is thinking about him today. And Donna and Steve, very best wishes to you. I think you'll be watching in Harrogate this afternoon. So thoughts with you today. As the RAF now driving forward then with George Moseley again. Harry Davis fitting that full back, and he picks the ball up now. It's a great jinking run from him, 15 metres out. Bringing it forward, the RAF this time, and surely going over the line for the try. Has he gone down? Yes, the try is given, and this time it is. And it's
Ewan Makinson,
a great try, but brilliant work from the Air Force to put them 4-0 ahead here. The opening try of this game, the RAF then take that early lead, and it was a brilliantly worked try, eventually pulling his way through at least 3 or 4 Army players. So Ewan Makinson breaks the deadlock here, and the RAF lead 4-0.
Yeah, finally converting that pressure into points. I thought he was actually going to get tackled on the line there, but luckily he got the ball down.
Yeah, he got the ball down eventually, and surviving a couple of challenges there. But again, it was great work from the fullback, wasn't it? I mean, Harry Davis driving through there, jinking his way round, and that was a terrific try, putting the Air Force in front here. So the opportunity then to have the extras here with Ben Simon.
Yeah, like I say, when we spoke about Harry before, he's another dangerous player. He's quick. He's very quick on his feet. So he saw that there was nothing on, and he'd come back inside, which is the right decision to make there.
And the goal is good, and that takes the RAF to 6 points to 0. 2 points, of course, for a goal conversion or a penalty. 1 point for a drop goal in rugby league, and 4 points for the try. So the conversion there, giving the RAF a 6 points to 0 lead here at Aldershot. And I think certainly on the level of play so far, the Air Force just about deserve to be in front.
Yeah. Obviously, I'd probably agree with that.
Wouldn't expect you not to.
Yeah, no, but like I said before, the Army, they're always going to be dangerous. So all it takes is for a little spark, or for them to get revved up over a big tackle or a break, and they could be straight back in it. So it's important for the Air Force to not switch off.
Early doors, of course, here. Muddy Bojang wearing number 19, but obviously in a back position for the Air Force.
He wasn't happy how tight his shirt was, so...
No. But you rugby players are notorious for changing shirts at the last minute and not telling the commentator.
Well,
but the shirt's got to fit, though. I mean, I accept that. I accept the shirt's got to fit.
It's got to fit, but a lot of lads like it as tight as possible, so...
Right on the halfway line then, RAF building once more. That's a lovely work through there from Adam Potter. Kick goes up then from Barker. Really good take from the Army there. Brilliant take from Vanakavita, number 5. But the RAF have it. And they have the chance then with a set of 6 tackles here inside the 20 metres.
Yeah, the Army winger there took it well. It just couldn't break through the line.
And here we go once more. That's a lovely dive for the line, and that is going to be another try for the Air Force. And it certainly is another try for the Air Force. And that is Luke Broadbent, I think, has gone over this time.
Yeah, Luke Broadbent this time, he's actually got his try. I don't think they're going to take this one off him.
So a terrific start to this game for the Light Blues here. And it was, again, loads of space on that far side for them to work on. And Luke Broadbent just making that ground across the pitch, which, of course, makes the conversion that much easier, doesn't it? Or that much less difficult, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of games that we've had over the past few years that have come down to a couple of points. So, obviously, every little helps. And hopefully, I think it's Ben Simon that's going to kick this one again. Yep. Hopefully, he can get the points.
10 points to 0 then, the RAF leading, and we're almost halfway through this first half here at Aldershot. Another little mention I would just like to make as well while we're just waiting for the conversion, and that is yeah, we'll do it in just a second, okay? As the conversion is missed, it remains 10-0. Yeah, a little mention I'd just like to do for Corporal Chris Green. This is from the whole of the Army team here, the team manager of the Army team here. Chris had to be rushed away yesterday because his mother has been taken ill. And Chris, I'm not sure whether you'll be watching, but if you are, everyone in the Army team, and indeed everyone connected with Military Rugby League, sends you very best wishes. And the hope is that your mother will make a speedy recovery. So that's from everyone in the Army team. They asked me to mention that before kick-off. It's such a family, Military Rugby League. It is no matter who you support, who you play for, who you follow, Army, Navy, RAF. It's very much a family thing, isn't it, Nick? And you're always there for each other.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we are rivals, but at the end of the day, we're all part of the military. And you know, when it comes down to people's families and stuff, we'll always look out for each other.
RAF then have it, looking to build once more, and they've got such a lot of strength there in that team. Emphasised by Harrison Ray there. Good tackling from the Army, but it's still the RAF. And it's really worked for them as well, working that way through into the halfway line on the fifth tackle, and then the ball going up, as it will do now, from the fullback. And again, it's just not working for the Army at the moment. The RAF have got it back, and they have another set of 6 tackles.
Yeah, quite.
Making it work.
Making it work, yeah. Nath made a nice little break there, which meant he wasn't in a position to kick, so Harry took over. Luckily, we've got the ball back from it, so we'll be happy with that result there.
And with this 10-0 lead as well. It was offside, wasn't it? And referee Carl Hughes will award. In fact, it was was it a forward pass? I don't know. Did it go forward?
I didn't quite catch that. I think it was something around the ruck. Let's see if I can see the replay here.
It will be a scrum anyway. Something has been said, and it will be an Army put in.
A little bit of a let off there. Obviously, like you say, we had a good opportunity, good field position, but so hopefully we can defend this well.
Army trying to bring it clear though, with their very, very slippery fullback. Vaccaro. Jake Toa going to the ground there, one of the debutants. McDonald. That's a bit of a loose one though from Mikey McDonald. Here's the fullback again, jinking his way through. Looks a very slippery customer, doesn't he, Nick?
Yeah, he does. He seems to be looking quite dangerous when he gets the ball in hand. Hopefully we can cut the space down. Like the Army back three are always dangerous. They have an ability to produce a lot of dangerous players when it comes to that.
We are halfway through this first half here, and it's the Royal Air Force, the visitors, who have a 10-point lead. So hoping to keep you in touch with how things are going up at Murfield today with the Royal Navy in action. And for them, of course, it's also very important. The Navy are 6 points still up there. They've got to try and a conversion. So the Navy 6-0 up at the moment against Murfield, the visitors. So the visitors in both of the games involving our military teams doing well. The Navy, with a converted try, have a 6-0 lead. RAF 10-0 up in front here. We'll obviously keep you in touch with how the match is progressing up there in West Yorkshire. But once again, the RAF pushing forward here. And here's Harry Davis going wide. It's been a rich source of very fertile ground for the Air Force so far, that far right-hand side, which this time last week, Nick, was absolutely frozen stiff. But here again is Nath Barker going through. RAF pick it up, the loose ball, but referee has pulled it back. And that will be an Army ball. But Army haven't really got going, have they yet? They're not finding their men.
No, like you say, that right edge for us, that's been quite a positive point. But when it comes to the Army, you can't ever count them out. Like I said before, they live off of momentum, and all it takes is one big tackle, one break, and they can get back in it. We've experienced it before a few years ago where they came back and we all let the game slip, unfortunately. But that's why you've always got to stay switched on in these games, because they're very dangerous.
I was talking to James Hutchinson last week, obviously in the preparation for the original game, and he was saying to me that the fact that you lost that inter-services match last year at home to the Navy has really given the boys a real kick, wanting to make sure that they don't let it slip up again.
Yeah. Last year, Challenge Cup, we had the Navy over at Cranwell, and it was a competitive game. We were really disappointed with the fact that we came away with a loss there, because we thought we played quite well, and that was the fuel we used for the rest of the season to kind of set that standard and say we won't let it slip again. So hopefully it's slightly different circumstances this time, but hopefully we can still have a good, successful season this year.
Well, Hutch, I'm sure, will be very pleased so far with how things are progressing for his team. For Lee Rental, then there's a little bit more to worry about as well from his point of view, in deep discussions at the moment with the rest of his management team on that touchline. But it's the Army now in possession, looking for an opening. Good work then from Adam Hooper, an infantry player. One Lancs player.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few infantry lads in this Army team today.
In fact, again, it's great work from Hooper, making lots of ground, giving themselves an opportunity. Here's McDonald. Ball goes out here to Tower, Jake Tower. Very strong, takes 3 RAF men to get him to ground. Hint of a forward pass there, I thought, but Liam Lindsay carrying it on just inside the 20 metres now. Or just outside, I show the 20 metres. McDonald with the kick, up into the sky. Important chase on, and it's the Army who've won it. Very near to the line. Drive for the line, and no, it's been held up by the Air Force. And brought back. So desperate defence there from the RAF players, but the Army still with a real opportunity here to get themselves on the score sheet.
Yeah, we got ourselves a bit tangled there, but good D on the line, and hopefully we can keep them out here at this point.
Swain goes for it. And Cam McDonald this time. Army sensing a real chance here to get themselves in. But again, it's been held up. And this time the RAF will bring it away. But that's really the best period of play that the Army have had so far.
Yeah, great positive for the RAF there. Obviously, the Army were looking dangerous, and we managed to keep them out. So that's a win for us there. We'll take that all day.
It's been held up to really the biggest danger that the players in red have shown so far, and that will certainly give them hope. But great defence from the Air Force is running a similar pattern to what we had in Wakefield in the inter-services clash back in the autumn. Sam Roberts driving through. Nath Barker again at the centre of everything for the Air Force, as you would expect. I'm sure that colleagues out at RAF Akrotiri watching today will be delighted to see him doing so well, as with the other Cyprus boys who've flown over for this.
Yeah, they got in late last night, so hopefully they're well rested enough to put a shift in today.
Nice drive through again. Important collection though from them. Just getting another score coming through, I think, from West Yorkshire. We can bring that to you in a moment. Just keeping half an eye on how the
tackle there from Sam Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts makes a good tackle. That's the Army though who bring it clear.
Yeah, I thought so.
Murfield have pulled a try back against the Navy, but they didn't make the conversion. So the Royal Navy still leading there, but it's 6 points to 4 now in favour of the Band of Brothers.
Yeah, a few changes here for the RAF. So Conor Morris has come off after a good stint. So we've now got who have we got coming on? Josh Coldwell's on, and I didn't see what other number came. Oh, Craig Irwin. Craig Irwin's on.
So Craig's on, yeah. And of course, with interchanges, you can change them as often as you like, can't you? But the Air Force threatening once again. The referee, though, has pulled it back. I think that might have been a forward pass.
Yeah, that was a forward pass, unfortunately.
But as we head towards the half-hour mark here, RAF still in the ascendancy, a bit of a break in play once more. I was talking to Cy Ray a bit earlier on. He was very keen to point out that only one player in the history of military rugby league has ever scored a hat-trick for a military team at Headingley. And you won't be surprised if I told you who it was.
No, I wouldn't be. Is he a certain Gladiators veteran as well, is he?
A certain Cy Ray, yeah, very keen to point out that. Army pull it clear though. That's nice work from Varro, Jolie Varro from One Yorks. When you've got a low centre of gravity, you can really make things work for you in this game, can't you?
Yeah, definitely in those tight areas.
A real scrap going on now. Air Force desperate to hold on to this 10-point lead, of course, that they have. Hitting the half-hour mark here at Aldershot, the military stadium, wherever you are today. I bet you're a bit warmer than we are. Referee just pulling things back, I think, because we've got 2 rugby balls on the pitch at the same time at the moment.
Not ideal.
It's Swain doing well here, driving through into the 20. Picked up by McDonald. And here's the other McDonald, the captain. Chance then for the Army here. And that's a lovely work around the outside. And he's going to score. It's going to be Petro Panagavita, who has gone over to get the try for the Army to bring them into this game. 10 points to 4 then. A really good run. Nicely worked from the Army.
Yeah, he took it well. Disappointing on a RAF point of view. I would have said we had the numbers there, but no, he goes around the outside and scores. Yeah,
he spun it well. It was a really nicely worked move by the Army, and that Fijian pace came into play really well, but some really nice build-up work then from the Army. It's really probably only the second massive opportunity they've had in this game. They came quite close just a couple of minutes ago, but they're now on the score sheet, and it'll be Mikey McDonald, who, the captain, will be anxious to get this one over to put them within 4 points of the visitors. Which he does very successfully. It's now the Army 6, the Royal Air Force 10.
Yeah, really important time for us now. Obviously, after letting that score in, we know the Army bench are going to be dangerous, so we need to get back on track now.
Decent crowd has turned up here at the military stadium to watch this first round clash. And there were a goodly number here last week as well, Nick, who are clearly disappointed that it didn't happen. But it was certainly the right decision. The pitch obviously is playing perfectly today. Last week there was just no grip, 2 or 3 centimetres under the surface.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of games last week that got cancelled, or postponed, I should say. But we felt hopeful when we got here. But obviously after, warming up on it and the Army breaking here.
That's a brilliant drive from Vastagaraga from the Royal Artillery. Number 14 for the Army. Ball spun wide again. Army sensing they've got a chance here. McDonald. He's brought to ground. One McDonald finds another, and this time it's Adam Hooper. Army looking very dangerous here, as if they can get themselves back into this. Running the ball round. RAF really being forced back at the moment. This is great play from the Army. And once again, that drive for the line from Liam Lindsay. McDonald plays it back. And this is Mikey McDonald will do the kick across. Oh, and that's a lovely touch. Well, he was almost on the end of it again, was Famakavita. But
very nearly.
It was very nearly it was almost a classic rugby union move, that. But it was just a bit too much for him, and he couldn't quite reach it. So RAF living a little bit dangerously at the moment. Army certainly have recovered themselves after going 2 scores down. And this is as competitive as we expected it to be. We've got just over 5 minutes left to play in this first half. Great charge through from Sam Roberts there, taking the pressure off the Air Force. And again, another great run, this time from Potter, referee. We'll bring it back. And the scrum will go to the Army.
Yeah, really important for us now. 5 minutes before half time to keep the score as it is. then we can build on it for the second half. If we were to let the Army in again, I think we'd be very disappointed with the half, considering the amount of pressure we've put on.
Yeah, the Army certainly coming well back into this in the second half, as we expected them to. They've certainly upped their game, but with so many debutants, it's perhaps not surprising that players still, finding out, working with each other, looking much stronger now. The Air Force having to defend.
Yes,
half of two halves, we could call it, couldn't we?
Sure, yeah. I mean, the debutants, obviously, it's good that they're blood-in players, but you can say maybe the issue that we have with Forces Rugby League is that we don't all get to play together every week. Obviously, a lot of the civvy teams in the same competition in the Challenge Cup, they play together week in, week out. So, we do have it is a challenge. Pulling people together from all over the country, and even for us, obviously, guys out in Cyprus. It's just getting that continuity. But like I say, we train for a week before a game to try and get that back.
And it's great that all three of our military teams are involved in the Challenge Cup. I mean, what a great competition it is, isn't it? And the fact that the Super League teams are coming in at round 3 this year, as opposed to the 4th round, which has been the last few years, it's just a great incentive. As we've already talked about, Nick, the winners of this potentially get through to the 3rd round. You've got Leeds Rhinos. Yeah,
massively. It adds an element of excitement, obviously. Oh.
One more chance. So strong is Varro there. And Jermaine Devitar. And congratulations all round for the RAF players who managed to keep them at bay. Fullback Harry Davis then clearing the lines. Just 2.5 minutes left of the 40 here. But the Air Force still in front by 10 points to 6. I wouldn't say the Air Force are holding on at the moment, but they've certainly been under the cosh, haven't they, in these last 10 minutes or so, Nick, from a much improved Army performance, really, in the latter stages of this first half.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we've been under the cosh, but yeah, we've definitely made things a little bit harder for ourselves. We've had a few interchanges now, so hopefully they can inject a bit of pace and have a positive impact on the game in the last couple of minutes of the half.
It's a strong ending for the Air Force then, and that's James Haig going through. The sergeant. Skied up then by Barker. And on the end of it was Thamakavita. And my apologies for pronunciations of the Fijians' names here today. We're doing our very best, I promise you.
It is difficult, though. It is difficult.
It ain't easy, especially when it's as cold as this. But I'm not making any excuses. Here they come again. Here's Varro.
Yeah, Joe Varro is a dangerous player.
He is. He's still got that ball, jinking his way round into the opposition territory. Does really well there. Here's Mikey McDonald, the captain. He's enjoying himself this afternoon as well by the looks. He's still going. That's a great run from McDonald. Eventually falls to ground. Things have changed around at Murfield. They've scored a second try and now lead by 10 points to 6 there in West Yorkshire against the senior service. Penalty then given to the RAF, which should see us through towards the end of this first half, I think. Been a couple of breaks in play, but nothing really. Just a couple of little niggly injuries I think we've had. So Murfield now leading the Navy by 10 points to 6, approaching half-time there in West Yorkshire. They've turned it around. Similar score here. It's 10 points to 6 to the visitors here at Aldershot. Just holding possession now for as long as they can for the Air Force. That's Ray.
Yeah, Adam Middleton taking one up. Recently out of retirement.
Yes, indeed.
The shortest retirement I've
you've probably ever come
seen,
across.
yeah.
I've seen them before, to be honest. But when the call comes, you players know what to do.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think obviously it being the army as well, it's that little bit of extra that Adam Middleton needed to get back. But
He did well. You heard the half-time whistle blown. As the players will take their leave and no doubt come in for a bit of a warming glass of something, a cup of tea perhaps, or the famous oranges perhaps. But at half-time here, your thoughts, Nick, very quickly on that first half?
yeah, obviously beginning of the half, it looked quite promising for the RAF. We've somehow managed to let the army come back into it a little bit. So we're going to want to regroup in the change rooms and get back out here and start the second half as we did the first.
The army continuing their huddle out on the pitch before they come in for their half-time. It's a 10-minute break here at the half-time whistle. Half-time then, the Royal Air Force leading this game very, very tight by 10 points to 6. Join us again for the second half. Loads more Forces sports news to catch up on right now.
Hi, I'm Simon Hunter, and this is In Case You Missed It. It's now 3 games played this season and 3 defeats for the RAF men's rugby union team after being beaten by Cardiff Met University. Despite the Air Force leading at half-time and being in a scoring mood, a late penalty secured a 29-28 win for the students. Tom Gardner's RAF side will look to get their season back on track with fixtures against Oxford University and the British Police coming up. The Royal Navy women's football team have won a closely fought friendly match against the Fire Service in Portsmouth. A second-half stunner by Kate Shorter was enough for the Navy to clinch a 1-0 victory after plenty of missed opportunities from both teams. With some key players missing due to work commitments, head coach Chief Petty Officer Glenn Long was pleased with the team's performance as they eye up March's Inter-Services Championships.
Yeah, I think we're in a good place. A few things to work on, as always, to improve on. But we've got a couple of meets prior to Inter-Services, so hopefully we'll work on those and improve and be ready to go for Inter-Services.
RAF Sergeant Dan McNamara has led his Wolves team into the Adobe Women's FA Cup 5th round for only the second time in the last 20 years. A 2-0 win away at Cheltenham Town saw Wolves progress through and start to dream of a place in round 6 for the first time in their history. Sergeant McNamara was named full-time Wolves boss in August after being given elite athlete status by the Royal Air Force. Royal Marine Commando Taylor Lawrence has added yet another World Cup medal to his collection by winning bronze in the 4-man bobsleigh event in St Moritz. It comes a week after the British team, led by Brad Hall, struck gold at the previous round of the IBSF World Cup circuit in Winterberg, Germany. Elsewhere, former soldier and Afghanistan veteran Corey Mapp began his overall World Cup title defence by bagging a full set of gold, silver and bronze medals at the Para Bobsleigh World Cup in Lillehammer.
lovely take out there on the right, and that's the first score to the Royal Navy. The band of brothers have done what they promised to do and scored themselves.
They're on 4th tackle, now they're on 5th.
Yep.
They probably want to be in a better position than that.
Jack
So let's
Bartlett
see if
there in the middle.
they spread it a bit. No, they're going
Prescott through the middle, and that's going to be a score. Bradley with a little grubber kick through, and he's going to take it himself. And the captain, Liam Bradley, has scored for the Royal Air Force. And the Navy have got it, and they're going to go over for their second. Oh, the RAF are annoyed about that, but that was another opportune try by the Royal Navy. Balls off. Oh, hands on hips from the Royal Navy.
Oh, that's it.
And they've called it, and the RAF have won. End of the set there. Hopeful ball forward. Oh, lovely take by Tilly. Is that Tilly down?
That's Tilly.
That was
Yeah.
lovely. Oh,
We'll take that all day long.
there we
Thank you
go.
very much.
Lovely score from the Navy. Oh, will he power over?
That's
Lovely
fantastic.
stretch. Oh, so close, but Navy, Army have held them up. Oh, nice push, lovely.
You need to scramble. You can see
Yes.
Ben working hard to get back.
And they're using the width here, but the Navy are back in. Oh, he's going to power his way over. Oh, that's a score, I think.
Yeah, he did well there. He
Yeah,
did
well done, the Army. Back now has a lovely
fantastic
run. And has he got the legs? He has. Another score for the Royal Navy.
And
Number
they've
that
gone
is
left
the
instead.
left. But, oh, they've got it. There's another try for the Army. Oh, lovely roll. What a lovely roll. Was that Butler?
That was Brodie Lee Butler.
Yeah, Brodie Lee Butler there with a score for the Royal Navy.
Just hoping to do the right thing here and just score.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Nice little, well, I say consolation try, but yeah, the Army heads are down now. They're all on their haunches.
Little kick forwards. Oh, and he touches down.
Get in.
And that is a lovely try for the RAF. RAF making good progress.
Oh, Prescott with a dummy. Still going.
Well done,
Yes,
Prescott.
and
And
we're
that is
in.
going to be a second try.
Liam
And Liam Bradley goes in.
Prescott's gone down the short side.
And
Yeah.
Are they going to be in again? Oh, they're
Oh,
driven
they're in.
over. And they are over. Once more, the Air Force threatening another try. This is
Go on,
lovely
Prescott.
work from them.
He's
Prescott's in. He's not going to be
Yes.
stopped. And Kieran Prescott goes in for a 4th try for the RAF. What can the Army do here? Threatening to get a try, and
good
surely they're going to
try,
get a
very
try
good
this
try.
time. They are over.
Pass to Jake.
Oh, his
We'll not
chance.
get Jake. If he gets away here.
Right.
If he gets away. Go on, Jakey boy.
It's a brilliant run
Go on,
from.
Jake.
That's a fantastic
Yes,
bit of
that's what
work.
we needed.
And what a brilliant try this is going to be for the Army. Air Force ending strongly here. Are they going to get
Potter's
a try?
in.
They
Yay.
are indeed going to get a try.
Adam Potter.
Potter goes over for a 5th try, which surely seals now the Inter-Services Championship for the Royal Air Force. Well, welcome back to Aldershot here. Obviously looking forward to that action at Sandown Park next Friday with the Military Gold Cup. Looking forward to that very much indeed. A quick update on the bobsleigh as well, by the way, which you might have seen in case you missed it there. A 5th place for Brad and Taylor in the 2-man earlier today with Adam Baird and Austin Millwood in 22nd place. That was up at Eagles in Austria. We are back in play though for the Rugby League in the second half there of this first round match in the Challenge Cup, with the RAF leading by 10 points to 6 at half time. Adam Slaney joining me in commentary here today, and Adam, looking forward to this second half. It's going to be really tight, isn't it?
Yeah. It's going to be a tight second half. Hopefully we can open up and get some points on the board, but we'll see.
In case you missed that first half, RAF charging into a 10 points to lead. Ian Makinson and Luke Broadbent with the 2 tries, 1 conversion, and then a reply then for the Army then with a try in towards the end of the second half to bring it back absolutely neck and neck, really. Nothing in it, just 4 points at the moment. That's the same thing up in Yorkshire, by the way. Murfield leading the Royal Navy by 10 points to 6. That was the last we heard there. That was the half-time score up there in that first round game involving the Royal Navy. It's the RAF who are charging forward now at the moment with their chance then to get themselves into this with Maddie Beauchamp there. Goes to ground at the moment.
Yeah, Maddie's new into the squad, but he's impressed. He's not long been in the Air Force, so hopefully he can be a good asset to us.
James Haig then going in as well. Army having to defend in these early moments on the 20-metre line. Both teams have got enough in interchange here to make a real difference. Nice drive kick forward then from Matt Littler. But right on the line, that's a great tackle. The ball against the post. So RAF starting really strongly in this second half. But it's brought clear for them by Jake Tower. Kath Brazier will be joining us as well in a few minutes as well, just to update us on where you're watching. We know you're watching all over the world. I think we've got viewers in as far afield as Egypt and Canada at the moment who are tuning in today, which is fantastic. Kath will join us very, very shortly with that. And let's just see how this bit of action plays out. And that's a brilliant run again on that far side of the field, and there's some very dangerous Army players as McDonald kicks that ball clear deep into RAF territory. As they build again then into their second tackle out of the 6 they're allowed.
Yeah, good carry by James Crabb there. Back 5 get involved.
Forward towards that halfway line. A real battle of contrition this is going to be, I'm sure, as the half progresses. Adam Potter challenged by the Army. That's a great drive through from Sam Roberts. Speaking to Sam last week, so looking forward to this game. And I think he has connection with West, doesn't he, with West Warriors, from what I remember.
He does, yeah. So obviously Challenge Cup this year will be a big...
Oh. Referee pulls it back. So let's bring Kath in, shall we, for a few mentions now. Kath, people watching all over the world.
Do you know what, John? I think you mentioned Alexandria in Egypt. We've got people watching from there supporting the RAF. We've got someone who's watching from Thailand. Everyone's making a joke about how much warmer they are than we are here, but that's not surprising. Former Royal Navy from St Helens watching from Newcastle, so I imagine they're not as chipper as they are in Thailand. We've got people watching from all over, but I think most importantly our viewers in sunny Spain, the Stevensons, are watching. And of course they were here last week for the original game, but Donna just saying thank you very much for mentioning Scott in our coverage, because yes, they're watching from Spain this week.
Yes, they are. Good afternoon to you, Steve and Donna. It was lovely to meet you last week, and to hear that you are watching over there, and hopefully you're a bit warmer than we are here in Aldershot this afternoon. But play to warm the hearts at the moment of both teams. The RAF once more driving their way forward, looking for that third try to give them the clear ascendancy as we move into this second half. The Army, though, desperate to hold them back. Here we are once more. Oh, and it's dropped there, unfortunately, by Maddie Beauchamp, just at the crucial moment there, Nick.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting the pass. I think that was Adam Middleton that threw that then. I mean, I don't remember the last time I've seen him pass like that.
But the pressure is still on the players in red. Here the scrum obviously will go to the Army. With Aaron Houghton putting the ball in. It's cleared wide onto that right-hand side, and Army building from that deep position that they're in at the moment. The mist just beginning to come down here at Aldershot. You probably can't pick it up on television at the moment, but it's definitely looking a little bit on the misty side. I think we're expecting a pea super tonight, aren't we, Nick, somewhere around these areas?
Yeah, I think so. It was quite bad coming down the other night, but no, it cleared up this morning, so hopefully we missed the worst of it.
Army then driving their way back into this game. Here's Mikey McDonald. Ball goes wide to the fullback. And again, the danger man here. That's a great charge forward again from Fakamavita. Important moments then for the Air Force here, if they just guide that one back. Luke Broadbent. Challenge has gone in there. Referee is going to pull it back, I think. Just trying to see what happened there.
I think they may have made contact with the post.
Let's just have a look. We can actually see it on the little replay that we have here. Luke was having to hold on to control the ball. Yeah, two of the players went into the post there, and a couple of the Army lads have really come off worse for the wear. That's Luke Broadbent, who's down. And there's a bit of concern about him at the moment. Yeah, both being treated. So we hope that they're going to be okay. Just goes to show you how important those post guards are, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't have wanted to go into that without the post pad on it, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what the injury would be, but
just depends how he fell, I think.
Yeah. Hopefully he's okay.
I think it is Luke who is still being treated there. He is now. You can just see again a fantastic move then from the Army, and it was Patero Fakamavita, who is just such a dangerous player, the two Scots player, charging his way through and really making life difficult for the Air Force. But he was eventually brought to ground, much to everyone's relief, I think, who are supporting the RAF team today. Well, Luke is still being treated there. He's still on. He's just coming to his feet now, and that's good to see. I think that he must have just taken quite a knock when when he was retrieving that ball, and he was challenged for it. And he's going to just go off at the moment, so he'll have to have an assessment, presumably, Nick.
Yeah, he does seem to be holding his head, but
he's a bit groggy, I think.
Yeah. So Ewan Makinson's going to be coming back on. Unsure whether that will be permanent.
We'll see in the next few minutes whether that happens. As Sam Roberts brings the ball forward. Air Force building once again. Nice bit of interchange there. Lovely offload to Nathan Barker. And he is still going. What a powerhouse he is. Eventually he is brought to ground. But great run from Barker there as the Air Force continue their drive forward with Middleton.
Yeah, great run from Nathan Barker there.
And here they go once more. Real danger for the Army here. Adam Potter this time. Just on 10 metres. And here's Haig. Takes 3 soldiers to get him to the ground. And once more, very, very close to the line now, the RAF. And
yeah, he's got it down.
It's down.
Sam Roberts.
Yeah, it was great work again from Sam Roberts, I think it was, who's gone over, isn't it? To eventually just that pressure really told. Army failing to deal with it. Yeah, and the man who has got that ball down is Sam Roberts.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get it down there, but he managed to get his arm free and get the ball down. I think he was on his knees at one point.
He was, and he's done extremely well. And that's a 3rd try for the RAF. It was a very, very tight opening to this second period. But what an important try that could be for the RAF, Nick.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, hopefully keep this momentum up now. We don't want to let the Army back into it now at this point.
And that conversion goes over. So Ben Simon has made it 16-6 in favour of the Royal Air Force here. And we do have an update as well from the game that we're keeping an eye on. Obviously up in West Yorkshire, the Royal Navy have slipped further behind there. Unfortunately, they're now 14 points to 6 down over there at Murfield. So not looking too good for the Navy just at the moment, but obviously we'll keep you in touch with that one. Murfield leading 14-6. It's their debut in the Challenge Cup this season, and obviously enjoying their home advantage at the moment. So a bit of work to do there for the Band of Brothers. 14-6 down. We played just 10 minutes of this second half, so 50 minutes played here. So the Army with everything to do, trailing by 16 points to 6 here at Aldershot. And it's the RAF here once again showing lots of pace and power. Yeah, really gelling well. Adam Potter again,
going through there, yeah.
And then the RAF really have started this second half very much as they started the first, Nick.
Just as you say that.
Commentary curse, I'm sorry. I know there are a couple of people from West Warriors who are watching today, and no doubt making a few copious notes of both the military teams here, and just sort of keeping an eye on our mention here. What's it? It's 2.5 degrees in Hull. Lovely and warm, says Flipper up there in Hull.
That is warm for Hull as well.
But Neil Montgomery says it is 26 degrees in Alexandria at the moment. I'm not really jealous, I promise you.
Not at all.
With the icicles dangling off our noses here. But we are warm inside, and there's a warm glow about this game. Very competitive still. Still plenty of time for the Army to get back into it. Referee Carl Hughes, who had to make that decision along with the 2 captains last week to call the game off at the very, very last moment. But this pitch is in perfect condition here for rugby today. Lovely and soft underfoot.
Yeah, yeah. Really fast pitch as far as I know.
I know talking to Lee earlier on, Lee Rentoul, they said they did their captain's run on it this morning ahead of the game, which of course as the home team they're entitled to do. Air Force again though threatening on that 20-metre line. Here they go once more. Here's Caldwell. Acting half-back, though, is Ewan Makinson. Air Force once more. If they can get a 4th try here, they'll really fancy their chances as they jink their way through. It's great work again from Nathan Baker. What a leader he's been on the pitch for them so far.
Yeah, he's a decent operator. He's very good at slipping out of the tackle.
Cross kick goes across field. It's an important take for the... And they can't rake it. But it went forward, didn't it, I think? And so Harrison Ray's touchdown there was all in vain in the end. But, gosh, that was mighty close, wasn't it?
Yeah, obviously, unfortunately, couldn't convert on that opportunity. But no, it was a close one. We've had a few of those. We've had a few of those kicks that have nearly come off.
A few close run things. Army will be desperate to get the next try here, of course, as they trail by 16 points to 6 at the moment. But very much in this match. And diving forward there was their number 21, Asea Salarossi from the RLC, with the headband on. McDonald again goes for that right-hand side, hoping that the pace of his men can get us up there or get them up there. But it's RAF who are there first. And claims of offside coming from the stands here. Yeah, of course, they look very composed at the moment.
You have to work hard to get out of this area now.
That's great work from James Crabb. He's done well, hasn't he? He's had a really good start to this second half as Crabb.
Yeah, he was really disappointed last year to not be able to get into the IS squad because of his deployment that was that came up end of last year. But yeah, he played really well last year, so he want to continue that form on now the new season's begun.
A lot of space for the Air Force. Adam Potter again. A lot of great things have come from him today. Kick goes high up though after the 5th tackle, and it's collected by Varro, Jolie Varro.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Joe that was at Midlands Hurricanes last year, so he'll be one to watch.
Salarossi takes a couple of them and to bring him down onto the pitch. Air Force defending well here, not allowing the Army too much ground. Halfway through their allotted tackles. Well, that's a lovely run. Great work from Cam McDonald there, using all his skills. There he is. Back to his brother, to Mikey. Puts the up and under over, but it's well collected. Really important to collect then from
Maddie Bojang, that is.
Yeah, he did really well. And this is so tight at the moment.
Ben
What
Simon.
a run.
Ben
What
Simon.
a fantastic run. Ben Simon again, he's been good with the boot so far. That was a really great contribution, running with the ball.
Yeah, just ran out of support there.
Morris.
Connor's another one, Connor Morris, he's another one of those that played Union during the week.
Yeah, the RF losing by just 1 point, I think, in their match midweek. But it's a great testament to the players that they're out here playing rugby league on a Saturday afternoon, having played rugby union just 2 or 3 days before.
Yeah, I think it was Thursday night, I think the game was. So
it was.
Yeah, obviously.
48 hours difference.
Yeah. Connor loves it though. He'll pitch up any day. He could pitch up the day after the game and he'd still fancy it.
Well, that Army move, or the RAF move, just broken there by a knock forward. The Army collecting it, and they can build again now with their incredibly strong, pacey forwards that they have. Good tackle comes in. The Navy have pulled it back in West Yorkshire, and now trailing by just 2 points. But here come the Army again, and this is going to be a brilliant run. Difficult to see he's going to be stopped. And the man who's gone over is Jolie Varro. That's a really great bit of work from the Army there to pull themselves back into this game. 10 points now to them, 16 to the RAF. Jolie Varro there with the try. There's not a lot that the RAF could do about that. Once that break had been made, it was a superb break.
Disappointing from the RAF there. We got caught a little bit short on this right edge, and credit to the Army, they saw the space, they spread it, and they went about 60 metres.
Well, just to confirm, the Navy got a converted try, which means that they're now only 2 points behind Murfield. It's Murfield leading by 14 points to 12, so that is so tight, and this is really tight as well. If this conversion goes over, it'll bring us back to just a 4-point deficit for the Army, and that was an important try for them. So this game is on a knife edge. The game up in West Yorkshire also on a knife edge as well. Our live coverage here of Military Rugby League in the Betfred Challenge Cup first round, live on our Forces News YouTube channel here. I'm John Knighton, and it's great to have alongside me from the RAF, Nick Slaney today. We did invite someone from the Army, by the way, to join us, but unfortunately I think the people we had in mind were unable to get down here, and that conversion goes over from Mikey McDonald, and that brings us to 14 points now to 16 in favour of the RAF. So this is really, 12 points to 16. That makes it really tight. And everything to play for. It really is, not a lot left on the old fingernails, Nick, I'm sure, from if you're supporting the RAF today.
No comment.
Yeah, I can confirm, no fingernails left. But it's halfway through now, this second half. We played exactly an hour here at Aldershot, and we're still no nearer to knowing who's going to be going through to the second round of the Challenge Cup to meet the West's Warriors next week, of course, in Acton. So whoever goes through, they'll be staying down in the south of England. But here come the Army again, and this is an extraordinary run. And I don't think he's going to be caught, is he? He is. That's a great tackle to deny there. Petaro once again, but they are going to go through, and they have got the try. The try, and I think it's Asayas Rossi who's gone over. We'll just get that confirmed. But it was a brilliant bit of work then from the Army, using that right flank has been the danger area, hasn't it, Nick, for the Air Force? It was a terrific run, and to be fair, a great tackle actually to try and deny him from Luke Broadbent. But the man who went over in the end actually was the number 10, which is Messi Tuisina. So Tuisina with the try. And that levels the scores at 16 all. With a conversion to come, which could put the Army ahead in this game for the first time. It's Mikey McDonald on that far side of the field. Not an easy one, of course. He takes it, and it's gone wide. So we are dead level now at 16 points apiece here in Aldershot. It was close a few moments ago, Nick. It couldn't be closer now.
Yeah, very disappointing on our side. But you got to give it to them. They look dangerous down that edge, and they've definitely exploited that.
Well, that Fijian pace is really proving its worth. The Air Force have conceded 2 tries in pretty quick succession now, and will need to stem the flow a little bit.
Yeah, like I said right at the beginning of the game, I think it was that obviously the Army love to play off momentum and emotion. So it takes one break, one try, one big tackle, and they're right up for it again. So they'll relish this now. They'll want to go at this game.
I wouldn't like to call this match, but just bearing in mind as well that if we were level at full time, we'll go into the golden point situation, which is heartbreaking for the team that concedes just one score. It could be a drop goal, it could be a try, it could be a penalty, who knows. But we do face that possibility. But I've just got a feeling that this will be settled, Nick, before we get to that stage, by one side or another. At the moment, the Army very much in the ascendancy. They just scored 2 quick tries. Their tails up to the RAF to regroup, to reposition themselves. They know what they can do. There was a crossover there, wasn't there? So I think that will be given to the Air Force.
Yeah, really important that the Air Force settle now and try and get a foothold back in the game.
Might bring Kath back in a few moments' time just to update us on who's watching and where. I notice we've got a couple of people watching up in Scotland, and wherever you are today, you are more than welcome to be joining us here for our live coverage of this first round tie in the Betfred Challenge Cup. But it's absolutely dead level at the moment between the Royal Air Force and the British Army, obviously the hosting team here. Here come the RAF though. They've got a chance now on that far side using the wing themselves. Great work from the fullback, great work from Harry Davis. Gets it inside to Connor Morris. Once more the Air Force challenging for that line. Very, very tight, very close. Lovely work, Roberts. He's just a couple of metres short now. Is Sam Roberts there? Already scored 1 try for the Air Force. Looking for another. The grubber kick forward goes through. And that's important for the Army to collect it, which they do. Again, good work for them by Joe Livaro, proving his worth at the back there. This will be the Army who can bring it forward. Let's bring Kath in then for a bit more updates on who is watching and where.
I'll tell you what, John, it's now a competition to say the more extravagant places you can watch from. We've got Bali, Fiji. This one's my favourite, Hull in the Spotted Dog, which I can only assume is a public house.
It certainly is.
Of some description. Then the Stevensons have been back on. They're in Simocho in España, yes, and they're absolutely loving it. We've got people are watching in Leeds, in Amsterdam, Australia, in Queensland. I mean, I wish I'd never said anything now, because we've got some viewers in Cyprus and Saudi Arabia and Canada, which I'll be in a couple of weeks, so I'm excited about that, John. The
Might be colder than here though, Cal. I should warn you.
Well, that's fine. I'll be well wrapped up. But yeah, we've got some watching in Devon, watching in East Hull, watching in Lanzarote. So I love the fact that the Forces audience is always really, really globally spread. Nathan Hall also watching in Scotland. So we've got some great views on this game already, John. And thankfully, these two sides are obviously making it worth their while.
But they're producing a great performance. I know Nick is shaking his head at the moment because he's getting a bit worried here about whether the Air Force can close it out, but they're looking dangerous here. Once again, the ball just dropped at the crucial moment there. Nathan Barker just couldn't hold on to it, could he, Nick, there? And he was so close there to putting his man clear.
Yeah, disappointing for us. Obviously, we had a little bit of pressure there, and we just couldn't convert it into points. But at least we're starting in good field position with the Army stuck in front of their post. Sorry.
Army still in a defensive position, as you say. It looks like Mikey McDonald there might have taken a bit of a knock when he was pushing for that. The Army going on. The Army captain for the first time today. And so there's no fewer than 8 players in this Army team are making their debuts today. And they're doing the Army proud, one has to say. And here they go once more. Pretty high tackle going in there, I think, from Madi Bojang. The referee didn't like it. It was a high tackle, but the referee just having a quiet word. But it's going to be Air Force ball.
Yeah, I think the Army lad taking it in there may have just dropped the ball as he went into contact.
So knock on. Players just taking a quick break from the rigours of this match. Heading towards the last 10 minutes of the game. And we are absolutely neck and neck here. 16 points all if you're just joining us. Live here from the Aldershot Military Rugby Stadium here on our BFBS Forces News YouTube channel this afternoon. And that last Army try was an absolute killer, really. For the first time, got themselves on parity, and it was a brilliantly taken try in the end from the number 10, from Millie Tuasina from the RLC. Again, one of the debutants here today for the Army. As I say, they've got 8 players who are making their debuts today, and so they really have done the service proud so far. But Nick, everything to play for here. What do you think will be going through James Hutchinson's mind at the moment? Are there things that he can do now from the bench?
Well, obviously it's the players that are out on the pitch, but like we've spoken in the past about being clinical and not letting games slip. So obviously that message would always be mirrored. But in really important 10 minutes now, Ben Simon. Oh.
It is a massively important 10 minutes for both of these teams, because you just feel that we always seem to get late scores in these inter-services games, don't we? Whether it's the Inter-Services Championship or whether it's the Challenge Cup, the score can change dramatically very quickly, and it's the Air Force who are coming forward now and looking very, very dangerous again with Nathan Barker just onto the 10-metre line. They've got the opportunity here. Charging through now is Connor Morris, brought to ground. Desperate defence now for the Army. Air Force looking for that try, which would put them back in front again. We are dead level here, 7 points each. Lovely switch and offload, and Harrison Ray. What can they do here? Running out of tackles. Touch goes through. Who's going to be first to it? Oh, it's a dead ball. Well, opportunities were knocking there, weren't they, Nick, for the Air Force? Couldn't quite take them.
No. A little bit tense now, sat up here.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of tense people watching as well if you're a light blue persuasion today, and a lot of tense people watching if you're a red persuasion too. And a lot of people watching, listening if you're a Royal Navy persuasion. Still just 2 points in it there at Murfield, with the home team leading by 16 points to 14. So we'll keep you in touch with that as well. Or 14 points to 12, rather, I beg your pardon. But we'll keep you in touch with how that is developing. But crucial moments in this game. It's another drive forward from the Army, and no one is going to stop. No one is going to stop him. And he's under the posts for a flying try. Well, again, magnificent performance and magnificent play there for the Army. It was, for the first time, it puts them in the lead. And, well, it's just a great try. Not more you can say about that, is there, Nick, really? He just picked it up on that far side. It's been such a rich source for them, that right-hand side of the field. And that puts them 20 points to 16 ahead. And the conversion to come. Ball, the dead ball going out. And it was brilliantly taken. So the conversion does go over from Adam Hooper this time, 22-16. Oh, that was I think it was a bit of a worry, wasn't it? It was a bit of a worry there, Nick, because the Army were looking so strong on that right-hand side.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it might have been third tackle that was on. We'd like to think we'd keep them in their own half at that point, but they spread the ball right and just got on the outside of us.
And it was the number 10 again. It was Mekik Tuisina who really opened his legs and just went for it, and there was just no way through, really, no way to stop him. 22-16. What an ideal time to score if you're an Army supporter. Heartbreaking for the Air Force. But there's still time for them to come back into this.
Yeah, there's definitely enough talent in the squad to come back into it, but we do like to make things hard for ourselves.
Yeah, the clock's still running down here, and it's still running down in Murfield. There's still no change in that score. It's still 14 points to 12 in favour of Murfield against the Royal Navy, but there's still time. We've still got just over 5 minutes to play here of this game, and but for the first time in this game, the Army are in the ascendancy here. Just 5 minutes left.
It's the perfect time for them to take the lead. I think they'll be happy with that, but yeah, there'll be a lot of lads in the Air Force camp that won't be too happy with that, and they'll try and finish on a high.
Well, let's see what happens. You know, whatever happens here, both teams have actually given their all here. They've really put themselves on the line, and it's been a terrific game. Just boiling over a little bit at the moment. Tension's just running a little bit high. This is inter-services rugby. There's so much at stake. It's perhaps not surprising that tensions have got a little bit high, and referee Carl Hughes will just need to sort that out.
Yeah, tensions often boil over in these forces fixtures because the rivalries are so big.
You can't see Nick's face, but there is a wry smile on his face at the moment, which does not surprise me. I'd be very surprised if there weren't a few tensions kicking around.
A lot of testosterone on that pitch.
Absolutely, and you know, at this stage of the game, when there's so much to play for, there's so much at stake. You know, no one wants to lose this. There's a shake of hands there for the two captains. Referee Carl Hughes just having a word with both of them, saying, "Come on, boys, you've played this in a brilliant spirit," and they have. It's been played in a magnificent spirit so far. It would be such a shame if that would be to be blown now because of whatever happens. But it's the Army with it.
Yeah, as far as forces games go, it's been quite a lot of sportsmanship. So yeah, up until this point, it's been all friendly. So we don't mind a bit of spice every now and again.
No, we don't. No, absolutely. But it's the Army who have it, and I don't think there'll be any question of them running the clock down at the moment. We've had a long break in play up in at Murfield. because one of the Murfield players has taken quite a nasty injury and an ambulance has been called there. So the match delayed at the moment between Murfield and the Royal Navy. We hope that that player is going to be okay, but an ambulance has been called, and bearing in mind that that pitch is a little bit on the isolated side, it may mean that we're delayed there in that match. We'll keep you posted obviously on how things develop there, but we are into the last couple of minutes of this game here. Still everything to play for. The RAF desperately need a converted try to bring themselves back in. They've led for this game for so long, really for all but 10 minutes they've been in front here, and for them it will be a tragedy if they can't see this one through. But it's the Army who are defending strongly at the moment, approaching the last moments perhaps, opportunities for a set of 6 here that they really need to go for it here.
Really big opportunity, yeah, really big opportunity. There's a couple of Army lads that are,
and
we've got.
The referee has pulled it back for the Air Force, and it's quite possible they could have another set of 6 tackles here.
Yeah, 2 Army lads are down at the minute receiving treatment. I think there was another one that was limping back into the defensive line. So yeah, that was a bit of a let off for them. I thought we could have walked one in under the post.
Still time for the Air Force to get themselves back in. They've got a set of 6 tackles now. They're encamped on the Army line. What can the Army defence do here? The drive through. And that's Harrison Ray, but it's pulled back. And it's, well, they've missed that opportunity, but they do have another set. The Army now to see this one out. We're in the last minute of normal play, according to the clock. But of course, the independent timekeeper will be the controller of that. Opportunity lost for the Air Force. Army bringing it clear. Drive there from big Fijian number 20, Rokasake. But there are players down on the pitch all over the place at the moment. Have given absolutely everything. Last dying moments of this game here. Army have the lead by 22 points to 16. It's been a cracking game of rugby league. A real tribute to the Challenge Cup here. These 2 great military teams giving us a real treat here today. If you're a follower of the RAF, that'll be no consolation whatsoever. But if you do follow Army Rugby League, you'll know how important this victory would be for them today. But the Air Force not giving up yet. Here's their skipper going through once more, Nathan Baker, who's been absolutely outstanding for them today. He's led from the front. And that is the final whistle. And it is a victory for the home team, the Army, here by 22 points to 16. It's been a terrific game, as we say. Both the coaches shaking hands with each other now. Celebration time for the Army. Nick, I know that from an RAF point of view, you'll be desperately disappointed there that the Light Blues couldn't get this one over the line, especially, of course, after you fell at the first hurdle last year to the Navy at home. But this has been a great performance from both teams.
Yeah, obviously, personally, very disappointed with that. But like you say, last year we narrowly lost to the Navy in the first round of the Challenge Cup. This year, narrowly to the Army. But last year we pushed on. We had a really successful year, and we ended up winning inter-services. So hopefully, same again for this year.
I know something that Hutch said to me earlier this week or last week was that what this does, the fact that you've got an inter-services clash so early on in the year, it does set you up in a way for the inter-services that comes, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Like obviously we play a lot of civilian teams all year round, and although they are obviously tough games, nothing quite marries up to the intensity of playing one of the other services. So obviously having that so early in the season, we can kind of get players blooded and used to that intensity, and hopefully carry that throughout the year.
And just tell me, obviously defeat today, disappointing. Where do you think it actually did go wrong for the Air Force in the end? Because, up until the last 10 minutes, okay, it was level, but you were leading this game for a long, long time in the match.
Yeah, difficult to say where it went wrong without looking back at the footage. Obviously, we did take a bit of a commanding lead at the beginning. We put on a lot of pressure, but unfortunately we switched off. The Army got some momentum and they pushed through. And it's not the first time they've done it to us. They've made second half comebacks a number of times that I've played them. So credit to them. Obviously, they never gave up and they pushed on through. So they'll be against West Warriors in round 2.
They will indeed. West Warriors no doubt have been watching today. We can now go down to the pitch side, where Kath Brazier is talking to the Army captain, Cam MacDonald.
Okay, so I'm joined by a very happy Army captain, Mikey MacDonald. Mikey, what a comeback. People are going to be remembering that for years, I think.
100%, yeah. They've been a good outfit for the last, 2-3 years. And to beat them in a Challenge Cup, I've played in to get a result on them, but yeah, to beat them in a Challenge Cup's a big result for us, so we're very happy.
And of course, it's been sort of to and fro because they beat you in the inter-services. It wasn't a massive victory, but they beat you in the inter-services. But to come here and play at home, and also,
We've actually lost the sound link down there too.
Game. What did you say to the guys at half time?
Oh, we got tight at half time. We said, look, we know what we need to do to improve and to counter what they were doing. And the game plan changed. We got up for it at half time. We had a good chat with the boys inside and Rents, and I think we come out firing a bit more. We used our edges a lot more. We didn't play tight. We spread the ball, and as you can see by our tries, it paid off. So yeah.
But you've had a bit of a calf issue for most of that second half. How do you deal with that? How did you stay on?
To be fair, because it was such a tight game in the Challenge Cup, I didn't want to stay on. Obviously I did, but my calves were gone. But at half-back, you've got to dictate where the ball goes and dictate the game. So yeah, I put a shift in just like everyone else did. But yeah, it was. I was cramping up quite bad.
Now listen, I don't want to look too far ahead because I know you've still got a second round fixture to play. But how much of a carrot is that potential third round with against Leeds Rhinos? I don't know if you knew that, but that's a potential third round fixture for you guys.
Yeah, of course. I think we get a home fixture as well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we'd like to play at Headingley, but if we can get a home fixture and have Leeds Rhinos come to Aldershot, be quite historic. I think it'll be the best we've ever done. As to have a team from the Super League come to Aldershot would be amazing. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Well, look, Mikey, the Fijians are in full swing over there, so go and celebrate with your boys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, lovely to hear the Fijian singing, which always accompanies them, win or lose. Very happy. I mean, Nick, obviously from the RAS point of view, they will you'll lick your wounds, you'll go again, won't you?
yeah, we'll go again. Obviously, we've been here before, and hopefully we have a successful season. Well done to the Army. Good luck in the next round, and hopefully they can do something for the military boys.
Well, it'll be them who will face West Warriors. Just to give you the latest news from Murfield as well, the talk is of the game being abandoned because of this injury to one of the Murfield players. We're obviously very close to the end there, with Murfield leading by 2 points. But the decision about who will win the game may have to go to the Rugby League. Obviously, Murfield leading as it stands. That is all the information that we have on that at the moment. And obviously we'll try and update you as soon as we possibly can via our website or via BFBS Forces Radio News. But we're going to leave you now here at Aldershot with some lovely pictures there of the Army celebrating here at home. Disappointment for the RAF. The final score here at Aldershot this afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us, and thanks to all the team who've been here and all our team at BFBS for bringing you the game today. But the final score was 22 points to 16 in favour of the Army here against the Royal Air Force. From me, John Knighton, and all the team, a very good afternoon to you.